What if the most powerful transformation you could make begins with a single decision to put yourself first? In a world that constantly demands your attention, prioritizing your peace isn't selfish, it's survival. This is your call to step back from the noise, focus on your growth, and work in silence until the results speak louder than words. There is a silent truth that only those who rise above mediocrity understand. Greatness is built in the shadows. While others waste their breath seeking validation, the wise channel their energy into something far greater: action. The Stoics, those ancient masters of discipline, understood that merely discussing goals was insufficient. It was action and action alone that separated the great from the mediocre. There will always be doubters, those who do not believe in the path you walk. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them wait to see results while you are busy creating them. True success is not about proving them wrong. It is about proving yourself right. Unfortunately, you are not here to meet their expectations. You are here to exceed your own. And if you ever feel like stopping, when doubt creeps in or fatigue tries to break you, remember that the struggle you endure today is the foundation of the success you will stand on tomorrow. This is the way of the Stoic, the path of silent excellence. Do not let the distractions of the external world deter you from your purpose. Every day you commit to your discipline, every challenge you embrace, you become stronger. You are forging yourself into something unshakable, something extraordinary. And when the world finally turns its eyes toward you, it will not be because you sought its approval, but because your mastery, your persistence, and your results have made your presence undeniable. I want you to please trust the process. Could you let go of the need for immediate recognition? You can focus on the work and let the world catch up later. Because when they finally see you, they won't just see a person who succeeded. They will see someone who refused to stop, who chose effort over comfort, and who mastered the art of silent greatness. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic minds, wrote in his private journal, "Waste no more time arguing about what a reasonable person should be. Be one." This quote embodies the essence of actual progress. Could you stop discussing what needs to be done and do it? Words mean nothing in the absence of execution. You may declare your ambitions to the world, but unless you prove them through your deeds, they are nothing more than empty whispers lost in the wind. The world does not reward those who talk about their ambitions. It rewards those who work relentlessly in silence, away from the distractions of external noise. Many seek applause before they have even earned it, announcing their plans in hopes of recognition. But in doing so, they expose themselves to doubt, envy, and discouragement. Every moment spent justifying your path to others is a moment stolen from the work itself. If you genuinely want to transform yourself, you must shut out the world, lock in on your goals, and let your results do the talking. This is the nature of true power. It is built in silence, nurtured by patience, and revealed only when fully realized. This journey will not be easy. You will face resistance, doubt, and temptation. Your mind will try to trick you into seeking validation, into proving yourself before your work is complete. But please feel free to resist this urge. True mastery is not about being seen. It is about being undeniable. The world will take notice in time, not because you demanded its attention, but because your results spoke louder than any words ever could. So, let us embark on this path together, the Stoic way. Let us step into the shadows, embrace the discipline of silent effort, and emerge only when our success makes the noise for us. Chapter 1. The Power of Silent Discipline. Most people live their lives in a loop of talking and seeking validation. They announce their plans, crave recognition, and seek approval. However, the Stoics recognize that proper discipline is characterized by silence. Epictetus, a formerly enslaved person who became a philosopher, taught that we should not speak about our progress, but rather demonstrate it through action. When you vocalize your plans too soon, you allow others to weigh in, judge, or even dissuade you from your path. The mind, easily influenced by external noise, begins to shift its focus from doing to defending, from action to explanation. Imagine a blacksmith hammering away at a piece of iron. He does not announce to the world that he is forging a sword. He works. Day by day, strike after strike, he shapes his weapon until one day the world sees his masterpiece. But by then, the work is already done. Now, imagine another blacksmith who constantly pauses to tell people what he is making, looking around for approval, waiting for acknowledgement before each strike. His progress is slower, his focus diluted, and his energy divided between work and seeking external validation. This same principle applies to personal growth. If you constantly tell the world about your intentions before you have built anything of substance, you invite resistance, doubt, and unnecessary expectations. The mind, eager for validation, becomes entangled in external judgment. Instead of directing energy towards the task at hand, you dissipate it through explanations, justifications, and premature celebrations. The wise understand that effort speaks for itself, and the need to be seen is often a distraction from actual progress. There is also a psychological factor at play. Studies show that discussing your goals can create a false sense of accomplishment, tricking your brain into believing progress has been made when, in reality, no change has occurred. It provides the illusion of achievement without actual results. The moment you announce your plans, you tap into the dopamine rush of external validation, which can reduce your intrinsic motivation to follow through. Proper discipline is built in moments of solitude. The silent worker moves forward without applause, without validation and permission. Each day, each strike of effort compounds until one day the results are undeniable. That is the power of silent discipline. Commit to a 30-day challenge. Choose one goal, whether it is physical, mental, or professional, and work towards it without telling a soul. Keep a private journal, but do not share your progress. Watch how this silence builds momentum and self-reliance. This is how greatness is built. It begins in silence, away from prying eyes, shielded from the judgment of those who do not understand. The depth of genuine commitment. The same applies to skill development, career advancement, and personal transformation. Those who succeed are not the ones who seek attention before they have achieved anything. They are the ones who immerse themselves fully in their work, sacrificing distractions, resisting the urge to seek recognition, and trusting in the compounding effects of their effort. They grow steadily, patiently, and intentionally until they reach a level where their progress is impossible to ignore. Chapter 2. Why seeking validation is a trap. The moment you seek validation, you give power to others. The Stoics taught that external approval is irrelevant, fleeting, and unreliable. Seneca, a statesman and philosopher, warned that those who depend on praise will always be thralled to opinion, forever at the mercy of shifting public perception. Consider a sculptor crafting a statue. If he constantly asks others for their thoughts before the work is finished, he will never complete his masterpiece. True mastery requires internal validation. The only person who needs to believe in your path is you. But what if the sculptor was swayed by each comment, making changes at every suggestion? He would never develop his artistic voice, vision, or skill. His work would be fragmented, lacking conviction, constantly morphing to please others rather than remaining true to itself. The same applies to life. If you base your confidence on how others perceive you, you will always be controlled by external forces. If people approve of your actions, you feel good. If they disapprove, you feel inadequate. But in both cases, your emotions and sense of self are dictated by forces outside of you. The Stoics understood that this is a dangerous way to live. A life spent constantly adjusting to public opinion is not a life lived on your terms. True power comes from self-belief. When you remove the need for external validation, you become unshakable. You trust yourself, your work, and your journey, regardless of who is watching or what they think. This is why the greatest minds in history, the true masters of any field, often work in solitude. They understand that the loudest applause comes not from speaking of their plans, but from the undeniable success of their execution. Reflect on an area of your life where you seek validation. Ask yourself, am I doing this for myself or to gain the approval of others? Please make a list of 3 goals you want to pursue solely for your growth without sharing them with anyone. Practice completing them in silence and observe how liberating it feels to take action without seeking recognition. Chapter 3. The Art of Detachment from Opinion. The Stoics taught that we must detach ourselves from the views of others to remain free. The more you care about external noise, the less control you have over your mind. Imagine you are walking through a storm. The wind howls, the rain lashes against your skin, and the path ahead is shrouded in mist. If you react to every gust of wind, every clap of thunder, you will be thrown off course, stumbling and hesitating at every step. But if you focus on your strides, placing one foot in front of the other with unwavering determination, you will move forward despite the chaos around you. The world is a storm, and opinions, distractions, and external judgments are the wind. Many people stop in their tracks when they hear the whispers of others. They slow down, unsure, doubting whether they should continue. The Stoics understood that such hesitation is a trap. When you allow the voices of the world to dictate your pace, you relinquish control over your journey. The key is to trust yourself, to move with purpose regardless of the noise surrounding you. In life, the storm will always be there. It may take the form of doubt from others, the negativity of critics, or the internal fears that arise in moments of uncertainty. But just as a seasoned traveler learns to endure harsh weather, you must learn to walk through adversity with an unshakable mindset. If you react to every changing gust, every clap of thunder, you will be thrown off course. But if you set your sights on your destination and continue moving forward, no force can truly stop you. A tree that bends to every wind will never grow tall and strong. It must root itself deeply, resisting the force of external influences while standing firm in its place. The deeper the roots, the stronger the tree becomes, able to weather even the fiercest of storms. The same is true for you. Your foundation, your discipline, resilience, and self-awareness determine whether you stand firm or are swayed by every passing opinion. When you walk your path, there will be those who doubt you, who try to break your momentum, who throw stones from the sidelines. Some will do so out of jealousy, others from their fears projected onto you. But remember, their voices are just noise, and noise cannot stop you unless you let it. Their doubts have no real power. Only your belief in yourself does. You'll need to focus on the path ahead. Ignore the distractions. Silence the voices that do not serve your growth, and continue moving forward with quiet determination. Imagine yourself as a ship sailing through turbulent waters. The waves crash, the wind howls, but if your course is set and you hold the wheel, with steady hands, you will reach your destination. The storm will pass, but your progress will remain. And when the skies clear, you will stand unshaken. Not because the journey was easy, but because you chose to endure. Chapter 4. The Stoic Mindset on Hard Work. Hard work is a sacred practice. The Stoics believed that labor shapes character. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." The struggle itself is the reward. Without adversity, there is no growth. Without pain, there is no transformation. A weak man avoids hard work, but the wise man embraces it, understanding that effort is the crucible in which greatness is forged. Could you look at a mountain climber? Every step is painful. Every breath is a battle. The higher he climbs, the thinner the air, the steeper the slope, the harsher the conditions. Yet he does not stop because he knows the summit awaits. He does not focus on how far he has left to go or how difficult each step feels. He only concerns himself with the next movement, the next foothold, the next breath. His progress is slow, grueling, but steady. In the same way, success demands suffering. You must endure, persist, and embrace the grind. Many wish for success, but few are willing to endure the hardship required to obtain it. The path of least resistance is the road. Most traveled, but it leads nowhere. It is the difficult path, the unyielding path that carves out those who rise above the rest. True strength is built in adversity, and true resilience is forged in struggle. Those who shy away from the hard path will never know what they are truly capable of achieving. A soldier does not become battle-hardened by avoiding the battlefield. He faces challenges head-on, learning to adapt, fight, and endure. Likewise, a mind that is never challenged, a body that is never pushed, and a will that is never tested remain fragile. If you wish to forge yourself into someone strong, you must be willing to go through what the weak fear, the discomfort, the failure, the solitude, and the self-doubt that comes with relentless effort. Understand this: the work you put in today will determine the life you live tomorrow. Every moment of effort compounds, stacking upon itself like bricks in the foundation of a fortress. You cannot expect greatness without sacrifice. You cannot demand results without discipline. The heights of achievement are reserved for those who consistently put in the work when no one is watching, those who push forward when no one is cheering them on, and those who refuse to stop when the road gets difficult. Hard work is not an inconvenience. It is an essential component of self-mastery. The person who disciplines themselves to work through exhaustion, doubt, and setbacks is the one who will one day stand above the rest. They will not have arrived at the summit by accident, nor by luck, but through thousands of hours of unseen toil, through countless moments of choosing perseverance over ease. The Stoics understood this well. Progress is not given. It is earned, and only those willing to sacrifice their comfort will ever taste true success. Choose one hard thing to do daily. It could be as simple as waking up earlier, taking cold showers, or reading for an hour. Train yourself to embrace discomfort, for that is where strength is built. Also, at the end of each day, could you reflect on one moment where you overcame resistance? Could you document your progress in a journal and track it? Over time, you will See the proof of your endurance, and with it, your transformation. Chapter 5. Embracing failure as fuel for growth. Failure is not the end. It is a lesson. The Stoics did not view failure as something to be feared, but as something to be used. Seneca once wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Every setback you encounter is a test of your resilience, an opportunity to grow stronger. Failure is not a verdict. It is an invitation to refine your strategy, strengthen your resolve, and grow beyond your previous limits. Too many people are discouraged by failure because they see it as proof that they are not good enough. They take it personally, believing that each setback defines their worth. But the Stoics understood that failure is simply feedback. It is a reflection of where you are, not where you will remain. Every great individual has stumbled, fallen, and faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable. What separates them from the rest is their ability to learn, adapt, and push forward despite the setbacks. Those who embrace failure as a necessary part of progress will find themselves advancing far beyond those who avoid challenge and risk. Imagine an athlete training for a marathon. The first few runs may be painful. They may feel weak, slow, and exhausted, but rather than quitting, they return, each day running a little farther, pushing a little harder. Over time, their endurance grows, their muscles strengthen, their speed increases. The struggle they once feared becomes their most significant source of pride. The same principle applies to intellectual and emotional growth. A student does not master a subject by avoiding mistakes. They learn by struggling through complex problems. A musician does not become skilled without playing wrong notes along the way. A leader does not become wise without making difficult decisions and experiencing setbacks. Growth is always preceded by discomfort, and failure is merely a stepping stone toward mastery. Failure, when viewed correctly, is a teacher. It reveals weaknesses, exposes gaps in knowledge, and presents an opportunity to correct course. The Stoics believed in accepting setbacks with grace, learning from them, and moving forward with greater wisdom and insight. They did not wallow in self-pity or allow failure to define them. Instead, they analyzed their missteps, adjusted their approach, and continued onward with renewed purpose. Could you write down a recent failure? Instead of focusing on the disappointment, could you list 3 lessons you can learn from it? How can this failure make you stronger? What adjustments can you make moving forward? Look at failure as a tool rather than a punishment. Embrace failure as fuel, and you will never fear it again. I would appreciate it if you could commit to learning from your failures. View each setback as part of a larger journey toward growth, and never allow a single failure to stop your momentum. Chapter 6. Mastering emotional control. The Stoics understood that true strength is not found in the ability to dominate others, but in the ability to master oneself. Emotional control is a defining characteristic of a strong individual, and this control is cultivated through awareness, discipline, and perspective. Many people react impulsively to life's challenges. They let anger control them, fear paralyze them, and doubt dictate their actions. They see emotions as forces beyond their control, leading them to act irrationally in moments of stress. The Stoic, however, remains calm, composed, and unshaken. They understand that while emotions are natural, they do not have to dictate one's behavior. Instead of being ruled by feelings, they acknowledge them, process them, and respond with intention rather than impulse. Emotional mastery is not about denying emotions, but about understanding their source and ensuring that reason, rather than raw feeling, guides your actions. The difference between the average person and the Stoic is that the Stoic does not allow external events to determine their inner state. They recognize that frustration, anger, or fear arise not from events themselves, but from their interpretations of those events. By adjusting their perception, they retain control over their emotions, rather than becoming victims of circumstance. Imagine a raging river. If you fall into it, you may panic, flailing wildly against the current, wasting energy and increasing your chances of drowning. But if you remain calm, assess the flow, and move with purpose, you increase your chances of navigating safely to shore. Emotions are like that river, wild and unpredictable but manageable if approached with awareness and skill. If you let emotions control you, you will be thrown off course, reacting to every external influence like a ship without a rudder. You will be at the mercy of circumstances, easily swayed by fear, frustration, or fleeting desires. Each reaction will be dictated not by logic, but by impulse, making you vulnerable to manipulation and unnecessary suffering. But if you master your emotions, you will always be in control of your direction, navigating even the most turbulent waters with clarity and strength. The world is unpredictable, and adversity is inevitable. But your ability to regulate your inner world will determine your success. By cultivating emotional discipline, you become the eye of the storm, a still, calm force, unaffected by chaos. Emotional mastery requires patience and intentional effort. It begins with self-awareness, understanding how emotions arise and why they influence you. It continues with self-discipline, training yourself to pause, reflect, and respond with wisdom rather than react impulsively. With time, it evolves into an unshakable state of inner fortitude where no insult, setback, or external pressure can rob you of your peace. The ability to manage emotions is not an innate gift. It is a skill that can be honed, a discipline that can be strengthened with practice and commitment. Like a warrior sharpening his blade, you must refine your ability to control your reactions daily. The goal is not to suppress emotions, but to channel them productively. Anger can be transformed into motivation. Fear can be converted into caution and preparation. Doubt can serve as a signal to improve. Every emotion carries energy. It is up to you to decide whether that energy weakens you or strengthens you. The next time you feel anger, frustration, or fear rising within you, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself, is this emotion helping me or controlling me? Choose your response with intention, not impulse. Reflect on how you handled the situation, and note how conscious awareness allows you to reclaim power over your emotions. Chapter 7. The Power of Consistency and Habit. Greatness is not built overnight. The Stoics knew that the small things we do daily shape the person we become. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." If you wish to be strong, disciplined, and successful, your daily habits must reflect those traits. Success is not a sudden event, but a cumulative effect of daily effort. The grandest structures are built brick by brick, just as the strongest character is forged through small, consistent actions. Most people fail because they rely on motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. Some days you feel unstoppable, and other days you struggle to take a single step forward. But discipline built through consistent action is unwavering. The person who succeeds is not the one who works hard occasionally, but the one who works hard every single day, regardless of how they feel. Success is not about bursts of energy. It is about steady, relentless effort. Even on days when inspiration is absent, action must continue. Proper discipline is the ability to act independently of emotions, to work even when it is difficult, tedious, or unrewarding in the short term. Consider the power of water dripping onto a rock. A single drop does nothing. But over time, with unwavering consistency, even the hardest stone is shaped and carved. Your actions may seem small in the moment, but repeated over time, they will shape your future in ways you cannot yet see. The Baji, athlete who trains every day, builds endurance. The writer who writes daily sharpens their craft, and the person who seeks wisdom consistently grows into a leader. The key is to trust the process even when progress seems invisible. This is the Stoic principle of incremental improvement, focusing not on immediate results, but on small, continuous advancements that over time build to something formidable. There is a compounding effect of effort. The small habits you cultivate today will determine who you become years from now. If you discipline yourself to wake up early, focus on deep work, and continuously improve your skills, you will one day find yourself in a position others will call lucky. But luck has little to do with it. It is simply the visible result of unseen consistency. While others waste time waiting for the right moment or for motivation to strike, those who rely on discipline steadily rise. They do not allow themselves to be ruled by fleeting emotions or temporary setbacks. They understand that action precedes motivation, not the other way around. If you ever doubt the importance of consistency, consider the alternative: inconsistency. A person who works out only when they feel like it will never be truly fit. Student who studies only when inspired will never master a subject. A professional who only applies effort when it is convenient will never achieve greatness. The discipline to show up every day, regardless of circumstances, is what sets extraordinary individuals apart. Those who are willing to commit to minor, daily improvements will eventually surpass even the most naturally talented but inconsistent individuals. The secret to success is not found in sudden bursts of effort, but in unwavering, disciplined action over long periods. Greatness is not the result of a single breakthrough, but the accumulation of thousands of small decisions consistently made, with purpose. Please think of the artist who paints daily, refining their techniques stroke by stroke. Please think of the entrepreneur who steadily improves their business one small innovation at a time. Each small effort compounds into an undeniable force that leads to mastery. The Stoics understood that the key to transformation is consistency. The greatest minds, warriors, and philosophers were not shaped in a single moment of inspiration, but through years of deliberate effort. Just as a sculptor chips away at stone until the masterpiece is revealed, you must chip away at your weaknesses, refining yourself through daily action. Each choice to practice discipline, to focus on your work, to persist despite difficulties, is another stroke of the chisel, shaping you into something greater than before. Genuine commitment means honoring your work even when no one is watching. Even when no immediate rewards are evident, it means believing in the unseen progress, in the silent transformations happening within. It is easy to show up when results are tangible, but real discipline is forged in the moments where progress seems invisible. The Stoics did not concern themselves with quick results. They understood that lasting greatness is cultivated through daily perseverance, through disciplined action that compounds like interest over time. If you abandon effort because results do not appear instantly, you will never reach your full potential. The wise understand that patience and persistence are the true markers of greatness. Commit to the process, not just the outcome. Trust that every disciplined effort, no matter how small, is contributing to something larger. Success does not arrive in an instant. It is built in silence, in the repetition of daily habits, and in the resilience to keep going when others quit. Identify one habit that will lead you closer to your goals. Commit to doing it daily, no matter how small the effort. Track your progress and watch as consistency transforms your life. To ensure success, create a system where you cannot fail. Pair your habit with an existing routine. Set reminders and hold yourself accountable by recording your efforts in a journal. Over time, the habit will become second nature, and discipline will replace the need for motivation. As a Stoic exercise, at the end of each week, reflect on your progress. Where were you consistent? Where did you falter? You can make adjustments and refine your process until self-discipline becomes effortless. Chapter 8. Silence as a strategy for success. Silence is often mistaken for weakness, but the Stoics knew that silence is a weapon. When you speak less, you listen more. When you listen more, you learn. And when you see, you gain an advantage over those who waste their words. A person who masters silence masters control, not just over their speech, but over their energy, their time, and their presence. The ability to hold back words, withhold emotions, and think before reacting is an indication of inner strength. Too many people reveal their plans too soon. They talk about their goals, their ambitions, their dreams, only to lose momentum before they even begin. When you verbalize your goals prematurely, you invite skepticism, distractions, and even envy from others. Worse yet, studies show that announcing intentions can create a false sense of accomplishment, reducing motivation to follow through. The mind, feeling as though progress has already been made, loses the urgency to act. This is why many people start with great enthusiasm, but ultimately fail to follow through. Their words replace their work. The wise, however, understand that real power lies in restraint. They move in silence, work privately, and let their results speak for themselves. Every moment spent explaining yourself is a moment taken away from executing your vision. True achievers do not need validation at the beginning of their journey because they know that success is not something to be discussed. It is something to be built. The more time you spend talking about your plans, the less time you have to take action, and without action, ideas remain nothing more than illusions. Instead of speaking about your ambitions, channel that energy into execution. Let your silence create an aura of mystery, an element of surprise. People will only know what you are doing when they see the undeniable proof of your dedication. By that time, words will be unnecessary because your achievements will speak for themselves. The great minds of history understood this principle. Leonardo da Vinci filled notebooks with his inventions, discoveries, and theories, but he did not rush to share them with the world until they were refined. Military strategists operate under secrecy, knowing that the element of surprise determines the victor. Even in nature, the most successful predators like the jaguar, the hawk, and the shark do not announce their approach. They strike with precision when the moment is right. Imagine a lion hunting in the wild. It does not roar before it attacks. It creeps patiently, unseen until the moment of action when its strength is revealed. Be like the lion. Let others speculate while you execute. Let them talk while you build. Please just let your actions speak so loud that words aren't too important. Because when you truly succeed, you will not need to tell people. You will become undeniable. For the next 30 days, practice strategic silence. Please, don't discuss your plans, your struggles, or your progress. Work in the shadows and observe how much more focused and powerful you feel. Chapter 9. Enduring loneliness on the path to greatness. The road to mastery is often lonely. The Stoics accepted this as a reality of the journey. Seneca wrote, Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you can improve. The process is mutual for men to learn while they teach. This means that on your path, you may lose friends, face solitude, and walk alone for long periods. The pursuit of greatness demands sacrifice, and often, that sacrifice is the loss of companionship. Not everyone will understand your ambition. Some will criticize you for working too hard. Others will try to pull you back into comfort, mediocrity, and distraction. The average person resists those who strive for something greater because it forces them to confront their inaction. Your discipline, your relentless pursuit of mastery, serves as a mirror reflecting what they are unwilling to do. Some will resent you for this. Some will mock you. Others will try to dissuade you from the path. But remember, the words of the idle hold no weight. The opinions of those unwilling to strive should never deter those who refuse to settle. You'll need to be prepared to walk alone if necessary. The path of greatness is not crowded, but that is what makes it so rewarding. Many desire the rewards of discipline, but few are willing to embrace the solitude it requires. Do not fear this solitude. Use it. Let it shape you. Could you let it refine your focus? The time spent alone is time invested in growth, reflection, and self-mastery. The silence of solitude allows you to hear the voice of reason more clearly, to think deeply, and to sharpen your mind. It is in these moments away from distractions that the most profound transformations occur. Think of a warrior training in isolation. While others waste time, he sharpens his sword, strengthens his body, and disciplines his mind. Each moment alone is another step towards mastery. He does not seek validation for his efforts, nor does he need encouragement to continue. He understands that the battle is won long before it begins, forged in the unseen hours of training. Then, when the moment of fighting arrives, he is ready. The sacrifices he made in solitude prepared him for the victory ahead. But solitude is not just about training. It is also about discovery. It is in those moments of deep thought and uninterrupted focus that the most significant breakthroughs happen. The philosopher who retreats into solitude does so not to escape the world, but to understand it better. The writer who isolates themselves does so not to avoid people, but to craft words that will later reach millions. The inventor who disappears into their work does so not to remain unknown, but to emerge with something that changes the world. Isolation, when used with purpose, becomes a tool for transformation. Solitude allows you to refine your ideas, eliminate distractions, and develop a relationship with yourself without the constant noise of the outside world. Your mind becomes sharper, your vision clearer, and your purpose more defined. Many of the greatest minds in history, Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, and Friedrich Nietzsche, valued solitude as a means to cultivate wisdom and innovation. They understood that in silence, they could hear their thoughts more clearly, analyze their actions without bias, and refine their purpose without external interference. And yet, solitude is not easy. The human mind craves connection, and loneliness can feel like an unbearable weight. But there is a difference between being alone and feeling alone. Those who embrace solitude as a tool for self-mastery never truly feel lonely. They fill their minds with wisdom, their days with progress, and their hearts with purpose. They do not seek validation from the crowd because they know their work is enough. Instead of feeling isolated, they recognize solitude as a privilege, a chance to work undisturbed and build something meaningful without distraction. Solitude also teaches you self-sufficiency. Many fear being alone because they have never developed the ability to rely on themselves. They seek external validation, constant company, and entertainment to fill the void left by a lack of inner fulfillment. They confuse solitude with loneliness, failing to recognize that the ability to stand alone is a mark of true strength. The Stoics knew that true power comes from within. They trained themselves to be content in solitude, to be at peace with their thoughts, and to find joy in self-improvement rather than in external pleasures. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his soul." This is the essence of self-sufficiency, not needing external distractions to feel whole, but finding fulfillment in your thoughts, discipline, and purpose. Consider the oak tree standing alone on a hilltop. It does not seek support from the forest, nor does it rely on others to shield it from the wind. It grows strong because of its isolation. Its roots dig deeper into the earth to find sustenance. Its trunk thickens to withstand the storms. The same principle applies to you. Solitude does not weaken you. It makes you unbreakable. Greatness is not about being seen. It is about being undeniable. The moment you stop seeking approval, you step into a world where success is not dependent on others, but on your actions. Solitude refines your vision. It removes distractions, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. When you stop looking to the world for permission, you become free to create, to build, and to forge a path entirely your own. And when the world finally takes notice, it will not be because you sought their approval, but because you walked the path alone, unwavering and unstoppable. The world respects those who do not need its recognition to persist. And when you cultivate that level of inner strength, you become truly unshakable. Others will look to you not because you asked for their attention, but because your actions, your discipline, and your results demand it. The quiet force of your dedication will speak louder than any words ever could. If you find yourself walking a lonely path, remind yourself that solitude is temporary, but the strength it builds is permanent. Surround yourself with wisdom, books, mentors, and thoughts that elevate you. Find comfort in your own company, and you will never feel alone again. Chapter 10. Becoming Unstoppable Through Stoic Principles. By now, you understand that the path to mastery is one of discipline, silence, and relentless action. The Stoics lived by these principles, and in doing so, they became unshakable forces of wisdom and power. They did not seek external validation, nor did they waste time justifying their actions. Instead, they allowed the weight of their work to speak for them. Their strength was not in words, but in unwavering consistency, unshaken by praise or criticism. You do not need approval to succeed. You do not need applause to stay motivated. You need only your unwavering commitment to your goals. Work hard in silence. Trust the process. Let time and effort compound into something undeniable. Please, don't look for shortcuts, nor do you think there's an easy way forward. True mastery is earned through persistence, through an unbreakable mindset that refuses to quit when things become difficult. The Stoics understood that greatness is not about quick victories, but about the endurance to persist through long and unseen efforts. It is easy to chase recognition, to seek validation from the crowd, but external approval is fleeting. What matters is not whether the world applauds your efforts today, but whether you are building something so solid that it cannot be ignored tomorrow. Greatness is not granted. It is forged piece by piece in the silence of daily work, in the patience to endure when no one is watching, in the refusal to waver when faced with doubt or obstacles. The world will not recognize you at first. It will doubt you, dismiss you, and overlook you. People will question your choices, mock your discipline, and try to pull you back into comfort and complacency. They may scoff at your quiet commitment, failing to understand the depth of your resolve. But in time, they will have no choice but to acknowledge your success. Your results will become undeniable, and your transformation will be evident. By the time they finally see you, you will have already won. Not because they finally notice you, but because you have become the person you were always meant to be. Greatness does not seek validation. It asserts itself. The most extraordinary individuals in history did not wait for the world's approval before taking action. They did not wait for permission to pursue excellence, nor did they require applause to maintain their motivation. They understood that success is built in silence, nurtured by discipline, and revealed only when the work is complete. You must cultivate this same mindset. You must detach yourself from the need to be acknowledged and focus entirely on the work itself. The most significant victory is not the recognition of others, but the realization that you have risen above who you once were. You have proven, too, yourself what you are capable of. The actual battle is not against external forces, but against the weakness within, the doubts, the procrastination, the fear of failure. When you conquer these internal enemies, you become unstoppable. It is not about the moment of acknowledgement. It is about the journey that shaped you, the resilience that hardened you, and the discipline that defined you. That is true success. And that is what makes you unstoppable. And when the world finally takes notice, you will not need their approval. You will have already become a force too powerful to ignore. Your journey will inspire not because you demanded recognition, but because your persistence made recognition inevitable. You will no longer chase greatness. You will embody it. And in that moment, you will realize that the applause never mattered, only the work itself. Mastery is a process of continuous refinement, and those who dedicate themselves to it understand that the work is never truly finished. Growth does not come from fleeting effort nor short-lived motivation, but from an unwavering commitment to improvement over the long haul. The world rewards those who can endure the seasons of silence, the lonely hours of practice, and the sacrifices that few are willing to make. Those who persist are the ones who rise above the rest. To truly command your life, you must understand that mastery is not about outperforming others. It is about surpassing your former self. The real competition is not external, but internal. Each day, you must strive to be better than you were the day before. The discipline to improve, even in the absence of applause or recognition, is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. You are not here to prove yourself to others. You are here to build something that speaks for itself. The Stoics taught that hardship is not to be feared, but rather, it is to be embraced. Every challenge, every failure, and every moment of adversity serves as an opportunity to strengthen your mind and sharpen your focus. The weak flee from difficulty, while the strong lean into it, knowing that discomfort is the soil in which resilience is cultivated. If you train yourself to welcome hardship rather than resent it, you will become unstoppable. The more resistance you face, the stronger you will become. Patience is another key element of mastery. In a world that glorifies speed, the Stoics knew that true greatness cannot be rushed. A tree does not grow strong in a single season. It develops over the years, rooted deep beneath the surface before it ever reaches the sky. Likewise, your journey will take time. Do not be discouraged by slow progress. Progress is still progress. Trust in the process, knowing that every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. The unshaken mind does not demand immediate results, but instead understands that mastery is the art of patience and precision. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack the endurance to persist. They quit too soon, surrendering to frustration before their efforts bear fruit. They let doubt cloud their judgment, believing that the lack of immediate results means failure. But the wise understand that mastery requires a long-term perspective. The greatest minds in history, whether philosophers, warriors, or artists, were those who dedicated themselves entirely to their craft year after year without being swayed by setbacks or distractions. If you can develop the patience to continue when others give up, success becomes inevitable. Patience is not passive waiting. It is the active refinement of one's craft, mindset, and purpose. It is the ability to endure long seasons of obscurity while continuing to build something remarkable. The sculptor does not strike the marble once and expect a masterpiece. He chisels away, refining every detail with quiet determination. The same is true for you. Every day you push forward, even when progress seems invisible. You are shaping your future with each moment of effort. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it must be trained. Every time you choose to stay focused, to continue working when you feel like quitting, you strengthen your ability to persist over time. This discipline becomes second nature. It is no longer something you force yourself to do, but something that defines who you are. At that point, the question is no longer whether you will succeed, but simply when. Mastery is inevitable for those who refuse to quit. The Stoics taught that control over one's mind is the highest form of power. Many people live at the mercy of their emotions, allowing fear, doubt, and distraction to dictate their actions. But those who master themselves master the world. If you can remain composed in chaos, focused in distraction, and unwavering in the face of criticism, you will be unstoppable. Your mind is your most potent weapon. Train it, guard it, and never allow external circumstances to dictate your path. Patience is the fortress that protects you from impulse and fear. Mastery is not about reaching a final destination, but about becoming a person who never stops improving. The path is endless, and the rewards come not from arriving at some arbitrary endpoint, but from the transformation that occurs along the way. When you embrace this truth, you understand that success is not about validation or external acknowledgement. It is about the satisfaction of knowing you have given your all. Success is a process, not a moment. The journey is long, filled with unseen battles and silent sacrifices. There will be times when no one understands why you are working so hard, why you wake up earlier, train longer, or push yourself when others choose ease. Please don't expect them to understand. Their validation is unnecessary. Your strength is built in these unseen hours. In the moments of struggle where no one is watching, keep refining your craft, sharpening your mind, and strengthening your discipline. Please don't worry about who is watching or what others think. In the end, your success will not be measured by how many people acknowledge you, but by the depth of your character, the strength of your will, and the legacy of effort you leave behind. And when that moment comes, when your results speak for themselves, you will know that the journey, the silent, unseen, relentless journey, was always the reward. The late nights, the quiet victories, the disciplined choices, all of it will have been worth it. Do not be swayed by the noise of the world. There will always be doubters, those who do not believe in the path you walk. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them wait to see results while you are busy creating them. True success is not about proving them wrong. It is about proving yourself right. Unfortunately, you are not here to meet their expectations. You are here to exceed your own. And if you ever feel like stopping, if doubt creeps in or fatigue tries to break you, remember the struggle you endure. Today is the foundation of the success you will stand on tomorrow. Every great individual has faced moments of doubt, but what separated them was their refusal to quit. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep building. I just wanted to let you know that the world does not need to see your effort at this time. It will see it when your results make it impossible to ignore. This is the way of the Stoic, the path of silent excellence. Do not let the distractions of the external world deter you from your purpose. Every day you commit to your discipline. Every challenge you embrace, you become stronger. You are forging yourself into something unshakable, something extraordinary. And when the world finally turns its eyes toward you, it will not be because you sought its approval, but because your mastery, your persistence, and your results have made your presence undeniable. I want you to please trust the process. Could you let go of the need for immediate recognition? You can focus on the work and let the world catch up later. Because when they finally see you, they won't just see a person who succeeded. They will see someone who refused to stop, who chose effort over comfort, and who mastered the art of silent greatness. Yes, you are